What's good, everybody? This your boy Tarek, and we are back for another episode, another edition of Talk Back Tuesday. Here with me, I got Crunk Chocolate, my homie, my show bro from Shades of Blue. Big up to you, man. Thanks for being on.
Of course, always fun to hop on. I've been a little busy the last couple of weeks, but I was just watching. I was lurking in the
Appreciate it.
chats,
Appreciate it.
and I figured, yeah, let's hop in. Let's do some pre-talking before we talk some more.
Yep. We're recording our episode for Shades of Blue once this goes off. So yeah, I'll be all citied out before the day is done. So big ups everybody. I see so many you in the chat, of course. Always first in the chat, my homie Miami Snoopy. Big Canes fan. We got a big game tomorrow. So before City kicks off on what is it, Friday? Yeah, no, Thursday.
Yeah, yep.
The Canes kick off tomorrow night. So, yep, big match for us. Got to win to keep advancing in these playoffs. So, big up Snoopy, big up Ash. See you out there. Harry, Briggsy, Louie, Adam. Appreciate all you guys being here. Thank you for joining and jumping on with me once again. As always, Abdi, appreciate you, man. So as always, do me a favor if you haven't already. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Lets the algorithm know that you appreciate what you're hearing and what you're listening to and watching. And so it'll help me. I am trying to get this channel. It is just now over 200. So we're trying to get it to 300. So help me get it to 300, everybody. I appreciate it. You know what? I got a birthday coming up. So this would be the no better time than the present to go ahead and hit that button and help your boy get on his way to 300. So certainly appreciate it. So much to get to. I know we're gonna talk a bunch of it here in a little bit, but first of all, I guess I should say, hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. For those that don't celebrate Christmas, certainly appreciate different backgrounds and things of that nature. So, however you celebrated, or if you didn't, if you just stayed at home and kicked it with your family, I hope you had a good time. How was your Christmas, man?
Really good. I went down to Arkansas where the weather was like 50 degrees warmer. I was wearing shorts for a couple days. That was wild. I would just go outside and just stand out because I could feel the sun. Like that was so nice. And
It
then yeah,
got to like 60 something here. And then like the next day it was like 10. The temperature dropped like 50 degrees
that's
basically overnight. It was crazy.
yeah. And
Crazy.
yeah, spent time with the nieces. It was all good. My heart is warm. All good.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate it. Glad you had a good time, man. Always good to just kick it with family, man. For
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
All right. So today, I believe, is match week 19. We had a couple matches that kicked off. Do you prefer Arsenal, starting with Arsenal, or you want to start with Bournemouth?
Uh
You're like, I really
let,
don't want
let,
to talk Arsenal at
I
all. Do we
know.
have to? Do
Let's
we
just get
have
Arsenal
to?
over with. Like
Yeah. So, going into it, did you have any hopes that, because Aston Villa, we just saw them have a good win um, the other day. So the thought was, okay, well, maybe they're going to come to play. Did you have any sense or thought that maybe, just maybe, Aston Villa might pick up the win? Looking at the records of the last 10 matches, Arsenal had won 6 out of those last 10. They drew 1, and then Villa only won 3 out of the last 10. So, did you have any real hope that there was gonna be a win? Or was it just wishful thinking?
I mean, I always, for the sake of just fun and banter, I always think that points could be saved, but it was at Arsenal, and
Yeah.
we know how good they are at home. And after their loss to Aston Villa, I just felt like they weren't going to let that happen again.
Yeah, they beat them a few weeks ago. Actually, they played in the month of December, so it's like before the month was out, they had played twice. I forget which team Arsenal hasn't played yet, but it's just kind of really crazy that they played twice already. Um, but I think coming into it, so I see Snoopy. Snoopy said I wasn't confident, but still hopeful. And it's
Yes.
being a massive disappointment. Again, it's one of those things where you can hope, but I didn't really expect any drop points or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I go into every Arsenal match just assuming they're going to win. It's just better for
Yep.
my mental health, I guess, if you want to say it that way. That sounds a little crazy, but it's just I don't even waste my time thinking about them dropping points, and then because I see people do the hate alongs, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's cool, but I just know if I do that, I'm just going to end up disappointed and ruining my day.
Yes.
Why ruin my day, right? Why
Yeah.
ruin my day? So I didn't do it. I did watch some of the match. I watched the Chelsea match earlier. That was on earlier. And then when that went off, I turned over. But at that point, the game was already pretty much over. So yeah, Snoopy said, expect the worst, hope for the best. That's pretty much what it is. I just assume they're going to get all the points, and then I just get happy if they drop it, but I just don't ever expect them to.
Yeah. At Arsenal, at least.
Yeah. Big ups to Louis.
Big up, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Louis,
Safe, man.
what's up?
Safe Clunk.
So Louis, did you have any expectations of a win coming in?
For what game?
Sorry, did you have any expectations that Villa would get the win over Arsenal?
I was kind of hoping, but how, like, with Cass and Kamara getting their yellow cards against Chelsea last game, it was a draw was best. And when they missed that opportunity in the first half, you kind of felt like Arsenal would get the win in the end.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was a mistake because Sancho had been one of the three changes, like when Emery made the changes against Chelsea, was one of the ones that was effective. And if it was McGinn, he'd make a challenge within the first 5-10 minutes against them. And Darren England would have to have that call of, okay, what sort of game do I want to make this now?
Yeah. Snoopy said Onana coming off was a big loss for Villa as well, which I agree with.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that happened before I turned over, but yeah, definitely a loss because he helps in that midfield massively. Big ups to Daniel Stevenson. If you weren't here when I jumped on, I said, hey, I'm trying to get to 300. I got a birthday coming up. This is the perfect time to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Helps your boy, helps me get the numbers up from the channel. Trying to go at just past 200 last week. I don't know that we'll get to 300 today, but if we can just continue to push, I'm trying to get to 500 before the end of June. So before July 1st, I want to be at 500. That's asking a lot, but I think it's possible. I think it's like 50 subscribers every month. So that seems doable. Something like that. That should be doable. So if you haven't already, do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate it. Yeah, so that was a unfortunate. They didn't drop any points. Villa came in on a good run of form. They had won 11 straight matches. At some point, you knew the winning streak was going to end. I don't know. I don't recall anyway Villa having, or too many teams having big, long winning streaks like that. Now, of course, we've done it, but most teams don't go on winning streaks like that. And so, at some point, you knew it was gonna come to an end. You were hoping that maybe they get the win over, not even get the win, just get the draw. If they would have got the draw, everybody would have been happy. It didn't happen. Again, like I said, didn't really expect it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, Villa don't have the most deep squad either.
Yeah, so losing two people.
Yeah, and like you're starting Lindelof and you're expecting to not ship a bunch of goals. I don't know. In big 2025, almost 2026.
So we gotta at least have this conversation. Snoopy took us there.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have made a difference, and that's fair. It may not have made a difference in this match, but not having him available for future matches or for a future match might. Again, I don't even look at who they're playing because I don't spend too much energy on Arsenal because it is what it is. But Mikel Merino should have been sent off, especially since folks were crying about Ruben Diaz not getting a second yellow. Keep that same energy. There was a whole lot of people on social media last week that had a lot to say about Ruben Diaz and he should have got a second yellow. Boom, boom. But where was, again, like you said, keep the same energy. Where's that energy now? Do you think? And again, it's easy to say, well, he should, it's easy to say it now because there would have been, you won 4-0 or 4-1, excuse me. It probably would have been no consequence if he would have got sent off, but you never know, especially because that was pretty early in the match, right? I don't remember exactly what point in the match, but it was first half. It was first half, right? Yeah.
No, it was in the second. It was in the second.
Was it in the second half?
I thought it was.
I think I turned it on with like 61st minute, something like that when I turned it on. But so maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it wouldn't have made a difference. But I just need some consistency in the argument, right? If you're going to argue that Ruben Diaz should have been sent off, you have to also acknowledge that yes, Mikel Merino should have been sent off and just own that. But Snoopy said it was 2-0 when it happened. Yeah.
Oh yeah, anything could have came from there.
Yeah, like I said, he could have been out for their next match. Again, they'll probably win it anyway. But
it kind of shows how petty Forest are in a way, both the manager and the owners in a way. When like Villa were like, it is what it is. That kind of thing happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll probably be on it for the next few weeks with Forest, to be honest, because when you go petty like that, you need to get it in return.
Yeah. Trying to crying and asking for an explanation, and we want the audio and all this stuff, man. It's
Arsenal did the same thing earlier.
Yeah. But then what happens is this is so
why cry wolf? Why cry wolf?
Well, I know why they do it. They shouldn't do it, but I know why they do it. And it's the same thing. Like, I'm a big basketball fan, right? Crunk, you probably know this. Phil Jackson with the Bulls and with the Lakers, when he was coaching them, he would say stuff in the media, not for the game that he was playing today, but for the game next week, next game 3, not game 2, game 3. He would say stuff because he knew it would impact the way that they refereed the game in the future. I think people say stuff because exactly Phil Jackson School of Ref. Again, you say stuff because you know it's going to influence what they do. And so even if it's just a small split-second decision or we probably could have given it, but we're going to hold off because just in the back of your mind, you're thinking about what he said and you don't want to have to feel like you have to justify or whatever, right? There's reasons why they do it, and it maybe it shouldn't be right, maybe it's not fair, but the reality is that people do it to get an advantage, to gain an advantage from the refs, and that's it's a little unfortunate. But
I mean, we'll talk about it when we record a little bit more. But Forest, that entire match between Igor, him flopping all over the place.
Next.
Gibbs White, like the crowd was losing their mind, and they were just in this bubble of feeling like victims. And then Sean Dyche made it even worse, which makes their loss today against Everton just that much funnier.
Mm-hmm.
They
did like, all that,
exactly,
and still
like,
lost to
they're
one
exhausted.
Of the worst teams.
Like they used all their energy up,
which is always, and this, Craig, I've said this about when we play teams anyway. We will force them to run themselves in the ground, and usually they'll pick up a loss in that next match because they just don't have anything left, especially if it's like a midweek match. They just don't have the depth, the energy to be able to do that on a Wednesday and then on Saturday or whatever. So in this case, it was probably even closer sooner than that. So they really didn't have the bodies, the just the pure bodies to just be able to throw out there consistently to be able to do that. So yeah, no, and I said I wasn't gonna go back to that match. I was just gonna let it go. But yeah, I'm with you, Louis. I'm a little perturbed by them. It's like, come on, man, what are we doing? Snoopy said Forests are a joke. Ruben's second yellow was debatable, but I'm not sure why they're complaining about the second goal. Because again, video clearly shows Morgan Gibbs White fouling O'Reilly, and it just goes to show you, again, going back to the basketball analogy, that's like a veteran move. You gotta hook them where the ref can't see, and then you draw the foul. You see in basketball when they go to shoot a three, they kick their legs out, or they jump into a player instead of jumping up to shoot. They jump into a player to draw a foul. This is him trying to draw the foul to make sure that the ball's going the other way. We don't get to score off the corner. And in doing so, put himself in a bad position. And I think that's exactly what you get if you're trying to cheat. And that's exactly what it is, right? We call it the dark arts. Other things that I don't curse, so I don't say. But if you're gonna play that
S-Housery, isn't it?
Exactly. You said it, not me, right? But if you're gonna play that way, then you get what you get. So now you fall all on the ground, throwing yourself down, and now you can't get back up and defend, because you should have been able to clear that off the line. It was pretty, if you would have been up, it would have been easy to clear off the line, I think. But you can't. So that's exactly what you get. Now, hopefully, you get punished in that situation. Hopefully it changes your behavior, it won't, but maybe you get punished again. And so it is what it is. And I'm glad to see Wayne Rooney call it out.
Yeah,
because if Joe Hart goes on and says it, then he's a city player, right? Well, he probably wouldn't, but if Micah Richards goes on and says it, then it's a city player. But for a United player, a United legend, to go on and say, "Nah, that's a foul," he was being fouled, right? Yeah. If for him to say it, it's like, okay, you have to be like, yeah, it probably was. So good on them. Good on them. Anything else y'all want to talk about this Arsenal match before we move off of it?
No. We talked about
next.
Yeah, again, I don't want to spend too much and give too much of my energy to Arsenal. So
it's gonna have to be now. Thanos in the Age of Ultron post credit scene where he gets the Infinity Gauntlet and goes, "Fine, I'll do it myself." Yeah, exactly. That's what it is now. It's us against them. It's better.
And the reality is, if both somebody has to lose, right? Because we have another match against them coming up. I believe we play them at the Etihad, right? So if we win, if we beat them at home, and everybody else is wins, we win the league, right? Now, do I expect for both teams to go undefeated or win every match up until that point or after that point? That's not reality.
City will.
There you go. But I do think that there's going to be points that are going to be dropped along the way. It's just a matter of who has the most nerve, who can hold their nerve the best, who can stare danger in the face and not be afraid. And so we're gonna have moments where it's gonna even like the last match against Nottingham Forest, there were moments where like, okay, this could end in a draw, but we held our nerve and we pulled out the victory. And so we're gonna have moments like that. They're gonna have moments like that. It's just a matter of, like I said, who can hold their nerve. But the other match that I really was focused, well, I guess let's say this will be quick. United drew 1-1 with Wolves. How in the world? Wolves. So big up to Martin. Martin is in the chat. Let's get him on screen here. Big up, Martin. Appreciate
yes, Martin.
You, how you doing?
Good.
Doing all right?
Oh, I'm loving it. Yeah. Good afternoon, you resident Cherokee hater. Well, apparently I am now.
You're a turkey hater?
You've had it bad today, haven't you?
Apparently so. I'm a Cherokee hater.
Well, what did you do to earn that title?
Oh, because I'm not putting a statue up or saying it's KDB yet.
Well, okay, so I do think that, yeah, you're right. It's a little too soon to compare him to KDB, but I mean, I saw the tweet, right? I saw the tweet that said that Pep and the staff have been, looking at the statistics and all the numbers and all the kind of stuff, and they believe that he's the only one that could kind of do a lot of the things that KDB did. Now, again, he's not KDB yet. He may never be KDB. KDB is a legend, and it's hard for anyone to achieve that level of success and just that dominance on the pitch. But there is something to be said for his ability on the ball, things that he do, his ability to create, to put passes out into that other people don't see, which is what we always said about KDB. KDB makes passes that other people don't see, and I'm seeing a little bit of that, in my opinion, from Cherky. But definitely not KDB yet, not in that conversation yet, doesn't deserve to be there. But yeah, so I'm seeing this from Snoopy. He said that there's somebody in LB's chat who keeps saying that Martin called
That's
Cherky
brutal, Martin.
Yeah,
That's brutal.
Flavor of the month is too strong, right? I mean, again, I think that I think he's the new player on our team, and he's performing very well. And what we have seen from our fan base, and I hate to say this, is that if he stops performing, they'll turn quickly.
So now you've understood my flavor of the month.
No, but it's Martin. I want to chat about something with that really quickly. I want, like, you and Tarek and Conk as well. Was Kevin De Bruyne as good as he was in his first season compared to Kevin's first season? Because I think Turkey's been better than him already.
Well, so for me, I have to go back and look at the seasons. I can't. I don't know the numbers.
This is the thing.
But
I'll say with Martin, I agree with him. But season on season, that's what I'm going off right now. And I think Turkey right now, from, like, I know Kevin will get it. Like, he has his injury with Everton in the first leg. Was it the first leg or the second leg of the Carabao Cup in 15-16?
Oh God.
I don't recall.
Exactly. That's when I knew he got his injury.
I've slept. The memory's not that good. I knew got injured 10 years ago.
And KDB had 16 goals and 12 assists in his first season with City.
Yeah.
So
calm down.
That's not bad.
Different gravy, baby.
Like that was under Pellegrini.
Right.
Pellegrini as well.
Which is even more.
Exactly, Louis. What are you doing here, mate? You just had a stinker there.
Like
that's stinker and hot.
But Turkey, like, it's. I just think, like, Turkey, like, the way he's gone about it, especially under Pep, you did not expect it. And there's probably later on in the season where he's not going to be.
I'll tell you what it is. Shabby. Listen, but when I said the comment, I was on a show, as you do, and people were asking me questions. And I feel in 2025 football, we gas players up after about 4 performances. And we make them Ballon d'Or players and best in the world. And what it was someone in the chat come in, where it's come from, Cornelius or someone, I can't remember his full name. And he said, the most talented player I've ever witnessed at Manchester City. Now, I don't know if he's been a fan 5 minutes or whether he's been a fan, but I just responded back. El Mago, KDB, Yaya Toure, Sergio Aguero, I'm sorry, they did it for 10 years. Cherky's done it for 2 months.
So it's not a case of you not liking Cherky or
I love Cherky. It's really about he's a great player.
Yeah, it's really about setting those or leveling, those expectations. We can't put and this is we say this about United all the time, right? That they hype their players up, especially their young players, before they've earned it. They've earned it. Now, do I think that Cherky has been exceptional so far this season? Yes. especially when you compare the fact that he came in at the same time as Florian Wirtz for a fraction of the money, and the output on the pitch has been head and shoulders above what we've seen from Wirtz. So that helps, but it is also fair to say it has only been, we've only played 19 matches so far this season. Well, we played 18. We got one coming up.
And he was injured for
hurt. He was hurt, so he didn't even play all of those.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say, hey, let's not get too over, our skis on this thing. But also, if we're just looking at numbers, to Snoopy's point, you got to respect what he's been able to do output. We look at, rightly or wrongly, fairly or unfairly, we would become a GNA stats numbers driven. I won't even say fan base, but just the footy world in general. Everybody's talking GNA, and so if you're using that, stick, it's got to be like, hey,
this
hands
is
up.
Part of my issue. Well, this is part of my issue because I think he's got 6 goals? Was it four goals, 6 assists in all comps? 7 assists, something like that. It's 4 goals, 7 assists, which is great.
In the Champions League.
Well, I think he's got 4. Anyway, he's got some decent stats. And where it came from, I was doing a show, and in my chat, people were annoyed because because Cherky got subbed before Phil Foden got subbed. And then Dash, he did it as a bit of a joke. We were doing it, and he says, "So who would you rather? Who would you sell then, Cherky or Foden?" And most people were saying sell Foden. Now my jaw dropped to the floor at that point, and I'm going, "What? What do you mean you'd sell Foden over Cherky?" Which starts to I find astonishing, but you've just said they go off GNA. Phil Foden has better GNA than Cherky this season.
He has more goals than Kevin De Bruyne as a City player.
But I'm getting told Phil Foden can't create and doesn't turn up in the big games. So, and this is my problem.
And these are City fans saying this to you, or
well, this was a number of City fans. Yeah, it's crazy. For me, I just went, why are we not embracing that the two of them are together in our team? Why are we doing this comparison stuff?
Yeah.
And it's like last night, I had another debate, and it was, well, I'm not sure about Rodri anymore. Maybe sell Rodri. We've got Nico G. And again, my jaw went to the floor.
I heard you.
What are we doing?
I heard your. What were you saying, Crunk?
Oh my God. Oh, I was saying that's what Martin was talking. That's the flavor of the month. That's all they're doing is flavor of the month.
And again, I'm slagging off Nico G. I'm like, we are destroying our own legends here. And I don't get it.
And I did hear that conversation, and because it was on, I think yesterday when I was coming home from work, and
Judge Mo and Don Hissam, wasn't it? Asan.
Oh, see, I didn't see them have. I was listening to Martin last night because it was like you, Pat, and the normal crew. But I agree with you when I think it was you that said people are concerned or maybe even afraid that he's going to leave on a free. And so because he might not sign a new contract, he might leave on a free. We want to be ahead of it. We don't get our hearts broken if we've already made up our mind that we should just sell him. We've already made up our mind that we got someone better, or we've already made up our mind that he's not who he used to be. So now when he walks out the door, if God forbid that were to happen, people don't feel as bad. No, it's like, let's hold on to our legends. There's going to come a day where he's going to walk out the door just like Sergio Aguero did, just like KDB did, just like David Silva did, just like every other player before them have. His time is going to come, and maybe he doesn't get to 10 years like everyone else, but we shouldn't minimize what we've seen from him, or just assume that he's not going to get back or whatever.
It's like my point with people call me a Foden glazer. Yeah, Foden's my favorite player. I'm not going to deny that. But when I look at Phil Foden's career, player of the year, football writers player of the year, 2 young player of the years, multiple trophies, I sit there and I go, and people, and maybe it's me, I don't know. when I look at other fan bases, I see them really pumping up that, like Arsenal fans, they will not have a word said against Saka. Saka is their guy. They protect, they look after. And it's like I said, if Turkey does 8 years or even 5 years and he performs on this level, he'll go down as one of the greats. But you just said it yourself. If he has a bad month, the same people bigging him up will turn on him like sour milk in 3 seconds. Whereas I won't. I'll turn around and I'll back him in his bad days as well as his good days. Because to me, that's what you should do with all players in a blue shirt. But then but he's getting assists. I said, but you slagged Savinho off for getting 13 assists last season. And you said it was about the goals and not the assists. And now it's about the assists and not the goals. We're changing the goalposts when it suits.
Yes.
That's the bit I don't like.
Yeah.
And considering 99% was working for Florian Wirtz, and we were doing the cheap option and we were doing it wrong because we were going for Cherka. And now I'm not. It's the flip flopping. I don't get. Sorry, I don't get the flip flopping. It amazes me. And we didn't try and kick KDB out the door. People were crying when he didn't get a contract extension.
Yeah.
But we're willing to kick Rodri out the door. Our only ever Ballon d'Or player.
Do people really think we're gonna lose Rodri? Like, is that, like, I get we have these conversations to have these conversations, and I understand probably the money that he was asking before he got injured has now changed because he's been gone basically 2 seasons, and you can't give him that money anymore. But you think he's going to be like a Carlos Tevez, and then he's going to go to like
I think,
Arsenal or something?
I think so, Sean. I do think that. I think there's, like Tariq said and Elliot said it last night, I think people are protecting themselves for if he does go or he doesn't come back the same Rodri. But my argument is a 70-80% Rodri is still better than any midfielder in this league. We're never going to get Ballon d'Or Rodri because the reason he won the Ballon d'Or is because he went above and beyond his expectation. When you win Ballon d'Or, it's because you have had the specialist season of your whole career. I don't expect a Ballon d'Or winner to do Ballon d'Or levels for 5 years. It's like the player of the season. I don't expect them. People do this all the time. You know, remember Haaland in his first season, he scored 40 goals or whatever it was. His second season, he didn't quite score as many as them. And people were going, ooh, is he not? Was that just a fluke season? Well, now he's proving this season that wasn't a fluke. It's just I suppose it comes down to the levels that you set of if you reach for the stars, you hit the moon. And I think people are expecting Rodri back to Ballon d'Or, which I don't think you'll ever get. But a Rodri at 80%, I keep saying it, is better than any midfielder in this damn league. Any midfielder in this league. And it's like, we're doing it with Bernardo. And this is why I keep saying we've got 3-4 statues going up. 3 we've got up, 1 going up. We're never going to get statues again. I'm not saying I'm not an advocate of give everyone a statue. But the ones who actually should get the statue will never get one now because we're going to harass them out the door and crap all over the legacy. It's like we've got bored and the window's opening and all these shiny new toys are approaching. And we've all gone a bit magpie and gone, oh, shiny new toy, and you come. And, again, and it's sad, and I agree with the decision, but everyone was glazing Oscar Bob back in August. This is the Oscar Bob season. This is the Oscar Bob season. Well, he's about to go to Germany. See you, have a nice trip, enjoy your footballing career. But now everyone's turned, oh, Oscar Bob, I knew he wouldn't make it, blah, blah, blah. It annoys me a little bit, and it's frustrating me. And that's what I mean by flavour of the month. For me, a player has to do it for 1 season, 1.5 seasons, continuously. Then I go, right, they're the real deal. I've seen too many players do it for 2 months and then switch off.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Again, we haven't seen anything that suggests that Cherky won't continue this level. but we've also not seen enough to say that he absolutely will, right? Because people have purple patches and then they kind of fall off. So we all hope that what we're seeing from him is this is just his level and he just continues to dominate at this rate. Because if he performs at this rate, it will truly be generational. It will be the best ever, so it's hard to assume that you can even maintain that pace for a entire career or season or whatever, right? It's hard because he's just been really good, but there's nothing that says he absolutely just has to fall off either. So I think your point and what you said earlier, what we should do is appreciate him for what he is, appreciate him for what he brings to the team, appreciate him because he kind of hit the ground running. And to be fair, there was that space in the beginning where he was hurt, or maybe Pep was keeping him out. It's whatever.
He had to lose about 2 stone.
Yeah. So, but he has come back committed. He has come back dedicated. He has come back ready to play, and it has been great. So I just, like I said, let's just appreciate Turkey for who he is.
Appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
This is my point, Tariq, about Kushinoff a few weeks back. People were proclaiming him the new Paolo Maldini, the way they were talking about him. And I'm like, can we relax a bit? It's like you said, any new player that walks in the door, he's going to be the next legend, and we're off and we're flying. And Kushinoff's 4th choice centre back. What do you want me to? It's not I can do about it. People may not agree with it. I don't fully agree with it, but it is what it is. I can't proclaim a 4th choice centre back as the next. Paolo Maldini.
By the end of the season, everyone will say, "Get Kushinoff out the club because I want this player next."
Well, that's probably.
I don't see anyone saying don't buy Matt Gay because we've got Kushinoff.
Yeah. But you know what is interesting? and so this is the analogy that I'll make, if I want to use the word analogy, but last season we saw moments from Nico G, and then Pep put him on the bench, and we were all upset. Well, not all, but a lot of people were upset because he went back to quote unquote the Unks, right? He went back to the Bernardos, he went back to Kovacic, he went back to those players to finish out the season, and we finished out strong, right? So you can't really argue that when the results say that we
at least had
finished
lively
out
forwards.
Strong. What's that?
At least he had lively forwards.
Yeah, but now we're seeing probably the best of Nico G after that. My thing is maybe this little bit of, we saw Kuzanov play a lot of matches, and then we've seen him come to the bench and not really get a lot of playing time. Pep has gone back to other folks, whether it be Ruben Diaz, whether it be Gvardiol, but even Stones has played above him at times. Ake has come in on that left side. So again, I just think that Pep knows what he's doing. And to use a phrase that you use a lot, Martin, we can't become player FC, where it's more, all I care about is my player, my favorite player doing well. I want the team to win. I want the team to do well, even if my favorite player may not be the one that's excelling. I don't know if he'll jump on or if he's in the chat or not, but Ryjack is diehard Oscar Bob fan, right? He really believes in Oscar Bob, as do a lot of us. But he's come to accept the fact that, hey, there's another player that's playing in that position. And at this point, maybe it doesn't even work out for Oscar Bob. But at the end of the day, I'm still a City fan. And I think that's where we got to be, right? It's about the football, we would say, or American sports, we would say, the name on the front of the shirt, not the back of the shirt. So
yeah, spot on. And then that's what it. And I listen, as much as I love Phil Foden, if Phil Foden's having a stinker, to the bench he goes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's for everybody. Nobody is above.
Nobody should be safe, and I think it helps that, because I think, I think we need the most informed 11 every week at the minute, because you saw what Arsenal did tonight, and I'm just going to say it. I wasn't expecting it to be that dominant off Arsenal tonight. Arsenal were outstanding, and I'll give them the due. And it's proving to me that this title race is going to go to the end. This is going to go right to the end, this title race. So, yeah, go with the strongest 11 each week, or the most informed 11 each week. And if that's Mamouche over Haaland or somebody over Foden, fair be it. Let it just play out.
Yeah, second year CDM. Nico right on schedule. I remember when so many wanted Rodri gone in the beginning. And again, to your point, Rodri. We just got to give people a chance. Yeah. Big up to Spartacus, who's joined us.
Yes, Spartacus.
Big up, brother.
Good night, everybody. How's everyone doing?
Doing well.
Good.
All right, so I was watching the Chelsea Bournemouth match. Here we go, Foden FC. Are you talking about? So I saw your comment, Martin. Foden FC.
Oh, I'm just talking. Yeah, there's already a guy in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Someone who comes into my chat a lot, and he's not a big Foden lover.
Okay. I thought maybe you were referring to Spartacus. I was gonna be like, Spartacus.
No. He's not a big.
I know he's not a big Savio defender, but he's gonna have a whole new law firm if he's gonna be Savio's defense group and Foden. So yeah.
Nah, too many players to defend at once.
Yeah, can only defend one at a time. But so the Chelsea in Bournemouth. Of course, the match ends 2-2 going into it. I think
about that. Can we actually talk? Are you going to talk about Semenyo?
That's where before we do that, before we move.
My apologies. You go ahead.
Oh no. You're before we move though. Big up to Ryjack. I don't know if you were in the chat just a few minutes ago when I was talking about you.
Oh, I must have missed it.
So we were talking about Player FC, and I use you as an example of a person that has I won't say a favorite player, but maybe Oscar Bob's your favorite. I don't know. But you have a player that you really enjoy, that you really like, but you're also fair enough to say, hey, it's not about Oscar Bob in this moment. It's about the team. And I think that's how we all should be, is looking for what's best for the team as opposed to my favorite player.
Yeah.
Did anybody tell this to Martin?
I've been a pretty big Oscar Bob supporter, but quite clearly it's not happening at City, and it is what it is. Like, I would have loved to see him succeed, and I think if given more time, maybe he would have, but it's not happening. And I care more about us winning games than I do about me being right about Oscar Bob doing well,
Yeah. And I think that's what we've all saying, that what we want, right? We want people who are going to support the badge on the front, not the name on the back. And I think if we can do that as a fan base, we're going to be all good. So, but yeah, I was getting ready. Appreciate you jumping on, man. Ryjack, let me just do this while we're here, so in case he has to drop at some point. If you're not already subscribed to Ryjack's channel, it is just Ryjack, as you see on the screen. I believe if you go to his YouTube channel, look for that up. You can subscribe there. Make sure you do that. We want to support all the City content creators. Of course, Crunk is here. As you all know, I'm a part of Shades of Blue. Shades of Blue NW. Go to YouTube, check that out. You can also find, because again, that is really tailored to like the audio only. It's a podcast, so if you looking for something to listen to while you're working out or whatever, maybe you don't want to watch YouTube, go check that out over at wherever you get your podcast from, right? So you can find that there. So appreciate that. And of course, everybody knows Martin.
I take offense that you say that every single time, Terry. We prefer audio only. We do everything.
Well, no,
video.
I mean,
everything we do is video.
No, that's fair. It is on video too. It is on video too. Yes. That is a fair statement.
You forgot to say Shady Gang as well.
This is my channel. You don't get to correct me on my channel. No, I'm just kidding.
A couple times I'm like, We recorded. You see your
Yeah.
face.
No, you're fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. So I was getting ready to make the shift to talk about the Chelsea Bournemouth match, and really the only reason, of course, Chelsea drops points. Great, that's wonderful. But it really is about Semenyo and where I think coming into this match, a lot of people, myself included, would have thought that this was going to be his last final match at Bournemouth, his final appearance. We saw at the end of the match, you saw him waving to the crowd. It looked like it could be a final appearance. And then I saw the comments from his manager who said, not so fast. He says that, so this is from a City Extra tweet. Iriola says he expects Antoine Semenyo to be available for Bournemouth in their next game versus Arsenal. And I believe that's on Sunday. So he's expecting, is it their game on Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were confused all the different days.
I'm about to
Leroy
jump into
Sané.
a space, so I was going to share it.
Leroy Sané all over again. That's
What were you going to share, Martin?
Well, I'll do it here. Bournemouth have until they don't have to accept it till the 10th.
to the 5th.
They can drag
Mm.
this right till the 10th of January if they choose to. The release clause does not have to be officially accepted until the 10th of Jan. I'll be honest with you, Semenyo's head's already at set. His entourage were in Manchester for 2 days yesterday, beyond. So I wouldn't read into his performances tonight. His head's all over.
No, I disagree. He's readying himself to be a set piece masterpiece for us now.
So I have a comment here about his long throw. He made a long throw, which ended up in their second goal. It was off of a header. He threw it in. The Chelsea defender. So I didn't see the first one. He threw it in. The Chelsea defender tries to head it clear and ends up flicking it perfectly on back post and gets it. So did he get the first one too?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he did he did it to the first one, and then they had one in the second half where they decided we're going to let some other player throw it into the box. When it's just like, huh? Semenyo's got your 2 goals from throw-ins.
Are we going to really become that throw-in FC?
Yeah, well, how many people get round?
Martin has told us that it's different keys for different locks. So if
I don't think we're going to start doing Rory Delap sort of stuff from the side.
We already gave up on having the ball, Martin. That's just one step.
No, wait. Hold on. You really going to say to me, Semenyo launches it in, Haaland flicks it to the back post, and Foden, Ruben Diaz or Gavalio gets a goal for us?
I'm not saying we can't. I'm not saying we can't use that, but we're not. It's not.
We should, though.
That's not the reason we're buying it. We're buying it.
No, of course not. I think we like to joke and jest, but no, I don't think anyone thinks we're buying him for that.
We've agreed everything,
except for
payment structures agreed. Oscar Bob's deal nearly done. He's going to go to, I think, Dortmund. So again,
Dortmund, yes,
with an obligation to buy.
Yeah,
there will be and I believe, and this may hurt Jack. I don't think there's a buyback going in it either.
Oh, really?
Martin, we gave up on
instance, it wouldn't make sense to have a buyback to me because the players in his position are similar age. Like he would have to perform so well for the buyback to be worth it for us. I was under the impression we wouldn't have a buyback because you get a little bit extra money if there's no buyback in theory. So I'm all right with that.
They're looking around 30 million, 35 mil.
So I think it's a good move for him as a kid because Dortmund has historically had some decent success with bringing in young players, improving them, helping them to develop, and then turning around, and then they become stars and they move on to someplace else, right? We can think about Jadon Sancho. We can think about, as an American, think about Christian Pulisic. I'm sure there's
Bellingham.
Bellingham. There's probably a bunch of others, right?
as well.
Jamie Giddens, right? Again, I don't know if he's ever going to be a star, but they were able to move him on. When he went there, he performed. He was able to be moved on, and they got their money back.
I've heard
I
sell on
believe that
clauses,
that's.
so Martin.
I believe that this is what's going to happen for Oscar Bob. I think he's going to go. He's going to perform very well. He's going to show. He's going to get back to what we saw before because it's just about confidence. And I think if he goes someplace, he doesn't have to look over his shoulder. He will get back to that confident player that we saw. But there's no guarantee.
Where are Dortmund in the group, the league table in the Champions League?
So Champions League, they are. Let me go look.
Because I saw we were linked 10th. To like. Are they?
Yeah, they're 10th in the Champions League table.
By the way, I'm not saying they can't add a buyback, but the wording I got, it's not even a Semenyo or Sabinho issue with Bob. Bob's City career died the minute Cherky came in.
Well, I think that's who Ryjak was referring to because I think
as soon as
Cherky and him are about the same age, maybe even younger.
Well, Cherky's younger. I think he's about roughly same, a few months. So, and then you're bringing in a Semenyo at 25. You've got a Sabinho at 21. He's not. Yeah, he's fourth choice in that pecking order. And they're not selling Savinio or Mamouche anytime soon. So, yeah, I would be surprised if they did a buyback, but they might do to cover themselves. I don't know. But they didn't do a buyback on McAtee, did they? So,
yeah, no, that's fair.
They probably felt with McAtee. They probably felt like with McAtee though, it wasn't going to go the way that they thought it would, and the money that was on offer for him, they wanted to take it. Especially with it being Strasbourg being interested, but yeah,
no, it's again, you hate to see a kid like Oscar Bob who has come through the academy and made his way to the first team. You hate to see him moved on, but again, this is where we just had this conversation about Player FC. I can't be so tied to Oscar Bob or any other academy kid for that matter. At the expense of what we're trying to do as a club. And we're trying to win. We're trying to win trophies. And that's not to suggest that we couldn't do that with Oscar Bob, but I think it is fair to say, I think it's fair to say at this point in time, and this is no shade, I think it's fair to say that as of today, Cherky is a better player than Oscar Bob. And it is just what it is. So, Go ahead.
Can I just ask Martin one thing? Because I've heard that the club is a lot more inclined to get a sell-on.
I'm backing now.
We're more looking at a sell-on clause than buyback on Bob.
I don't know.
That makes more sense. I think.
I think that's a good deal.
This is going to hurt a lot of people, but the club have more faith in Sabinho than they do Bob.
Oh, yeah.
What I haven't
done, enjoy this,
and I need to do this, is to look and see, because just gut feeling tells me that Savinho has played more minutes than Oscar Bob in his career.
Yes, definitely.
No.
Yes.
And Cherky would have played well more minutes at the top level than him as well, because he's been a consistent starter in most places that he's been. So I'm not surprised that, again, while he might be the same.
Last I checked, it was about 4,000 to 2,000 minutes.
Yeah.
It's around that.
This is Savia's third actual professional season. Because the first time he went, I'm not really counting the minutes that he had for Atletico Mineiro, because the levels of football are just so different. You can't really take that into consideration. And the first year that he got inserted in the CFG, he was loaned to PSV, I think.
Yeah.
Where he didn't get much game time at all. But then the second year, he went to Girona, and he played a lot and was one of the best wingers in La Liga. And the third year, he was already at City. So the guy really doesn't have much experience in professional football at all yet.
Yeah. So, so we talked about Oscar Bob. He's going to be impacted by the Semenyo move, which we all expect to have to see completed. Were any of you, because there was a lot of conversation about Liverpool coming in and trying to hijack the Semenyo move, and after seeing them come in for Verts and Verts, quote unquote, maybe change his mind. Maybe he was never really thinking about coming here. I don't know. But having had that situation take place in the summer, was anybody concerned about Liverpool hijacking? Crunk, were you concerned about them hijacking this move?
I was a little bit concerned. Go on.
Go for it.
Go ahead, Crunk.
I was going to say, I'm not really concerned. Go on.
It's because I'm sure in the conversation with him, hey, you come in, Salah's about to be gone. You can be the man here at Liverpool. You can be the talisman, even though he would have to battle like Ekitike, all these other players. But he would have that right side. But that we all know that would be the wrong decision. Like, do you want to go and be the man and kind of get paid because Liverpool, they have their like tiers, or do you want to get to City and legitimately have chances to win trophies every year? And I think he has made, well, we will see, but I'm hoping he makes the right decision. Obviously very biased.
Go ahead, Spartacus.
I wasn't really concerned about it, but my thing was that if he chooses Liverpool, so be it, because I don't think that he's the difference between us winning a league or not. So I wasn't really bothered by which one he chose.
I disagree. I
know you do.
You go ahead.
I know you do.
You go ahead, Sparkus.
Yeah, that's about it. Like, I just don't believe that he's the difference maker. I don't think a winger is the difference maker. We already have the best attack in the league. I think having another body for Bernardo, that would be the difference maker. But people just disagree on that one.
100% Liverpool moved for him. Ignore what the media tell you right now. They went for him and he said no to him. He had eyes for one club and one club only.
Yeah, I think Fabrizio Romano said that they had been there since like November. They've been checking in.
They went. They asked.
Yeah.
Can we actually acknowledge, by the way, that Fabrizio Romano might be the king of transfers now, rather than that clown at New York Times. Sorry, man. I know you love him more than Fabrizio, but that's how I see it now.
Who are you talking about? The clown in New York Times?
So
Ornstein.
You're talking about David Ornstein?
Yeah.
No.
Because they're all puppeteers for that same organization, and where they're from. And it's nothing against you two, by the way, Kronk and Tarek. It's just how they operate now.
We take full offense to it.
Those Americans ruining the game.
It's the way they operate. It's the way they deal with. It just feels like it's an anti. Yeah.
I think that. Yeah, I think the conversation around there's a market, right? Ornstein or whoever else. There's benefits to them having this information, and there's benefits to the people who are giving them the information.
Why does he do that news earlier? Like, was it 2 weeks ago, saying about Enzo's one of the favourites to go to City when Pep is likely to leave in the summer?
Yeah. And again,
Martin, you did that stream with Tone, and I listened to 9320. Big up them, by the way. And it's about he's not leaving until 2027. And Crunk, get the Chronicles of Asan Part 3, please. I beg. When possible.
I'll message him right now.
It's media narrative. That's why you'll never hear in the next. All you'll hear is Liverpool didn't go for Semenyo, because in the media it looks very bad that Semenyo snubbed Liverpool for Manchester City. The media will not allow that story out, so they will protect it. He 100% said no to Liverpool.
Yeah, I think every club does that to some extent. And because we had the
I think City
conversation.
did it reverse. I think
That's
City
what I was gonna
did
say.
it
We had the
reverse
conversation in the
as
summer.
well.
Did
Madrid are the
Verts
king
tell
of
us
this.
no, or did we pull out? And again, we're gonna say we pulled out because nobody wants to be seen as being left at the altar or turned down or whatever. But the reality is, players are gonna choose what they want, and I think most people, when they choose anything other than City, my opinion, they won't ever come out and say it, is that they regret it. They regret it.
No, well,
because it
I'll
never
tell
goes
you
that
this. A little. I'm gonna have to jump in it, but I'll give you a little tip and say, if a player has said no to City, they do what they did with Declan Rice, and they do what they did with Verts. They just go with ended interest.
Yeah.
They never once said they were ending any interest in Semenyo.
But why?
Because all the signs from Semenyo
was
I'm coming.
Go ahead, Louis.
I also just think that right now the club is very close to Fabrizio Romano, if that's for the good or for the bad.
No,
it was.
Viana's close to
Viana is a part of the club, Martin. We have to face it.
He's not the club, though.
But if he's selling, he's the one that tells Fabrizio Romano the information.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
And Caldoon tells Viana what to do.
It's all agent
Yeah,
games.
so-
That's all it is. It's really shouldn't trust anybody. I don't ever laud anyone up other than the other. They will do whatever they need to make themselves seem cooler.
Yeah. You hate to think that the media is being used by the other teams to kind of unsettle us. Like, if I just give you a rumor with no foundation, no basis, and you just run with it, all you've done is do my bidding, right? You've done what I wanted you to do to help me and my team get what we wanted, our outcome. And so I think every ITK, if you want to call them, those that are in the know, I think they have an obligation to know that this is a legit thing before they report it. I don't know that they really care. I think they just want to, sometimes they want to be first, just want to be first. And sometimes I think they get manipulated. And then again, because we heard all the talk, like you said, you mentioned Maresca, about Maresca potentially coming and whatever. And to be fair, it might be Maresca's agent leaking that.
It was Chelsea games. It was just Chelsea games.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, I'm going to jump.
But why was,
I'm doing a space anyway, so if anyone wants to jump on when you're done, you're more than welcome. Smash those likes and I'll subscribe, everyone. Big up.
Appreciate you.
Big up.
Thanks for stopping by. Big up, Ryjack. Got your camera going.
Oh, we got the setup going.
Yes, sir. Big up to everybody that's in the chat. Appreciate everybody being here. Again, you heard Martin. If you didn't, but if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I did have something up earlier. I'm trying to get to 300, right? I'm trying to get to 300 subscribers. Of course, I'm going to keep going after that, but we're at 200. We want to get to 300. I do have a birthday party, not a birthday party, but I have a birthday coming up. And so, yes, this is me guilting you to do me a favor for my birthday and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. So, yes, I acknowledge that I am shameless in that way and want you to do me a favor. So I appreciate all of the folks that are going to subscribe. I think I lost who it was that was.
Ryjack.
No, well, Ryjack, we'll bring him back on. I think he had, some technical issues. But no, I wanted to call out
Martin.
No, I want to call out the guy who joined. I think he's Machiavelli 1 is what I believe he's coming up as. But his name is Daniel Stevenson. I think this is him potentially. So if not, then I got the wrong person. But big up to Daniel Stevenson for subscribing to the channel earlier today. Appreciate that. All right, there we got Ryjack.
There we go.
Back. Yes, do me a favor, make my birthday, subscribe to the channel. Let's get it done. Yep. Okay, so I was right. It was you. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining this this little community that we're trying to build. So I appreciate that. All right. So we talked about go ahead.
Are you Aquarius or the one before that for your star sign?
I don't really. I'm a Capricorn.
Yeah, I'm Aquarius, but in January.
Okay, yeah. So I'm a Capricorn. I don't know when that. I don't really
Yeah.
know all the stuff, so I don't know when it ends and when it begins. I just know I'm a Capricorn. I don't know. So for Semenyo, we all think that that's going to happen. Not too many of us thought that it was going to be hijacked. Martin was telling us earlier, for those that maybe weren't here, that there, because I mentioned that Areola said that he thought. Well, he did not think that he didn't think that he had played his last match.
He's a hater.
And so I thought maybe this was his final match. He waved goodbye, all the things. But Areola was basically saying, no, I don't think that that's the case. I expect him to be in our match against Arsenal. So we will see what happens. Martin told us that basically they don't have to accept the offer until the 10th. So we could make the offer, and if they wanted to kind of string it along a little bit, they could. But I think if you start doing that, then you start running the risk of Semenyo kind of just holding out and all that kind of stuff. I don't think I don't think they want it to be, any animosity or anything like that. So maybe they keep him till Sunday, but or till the weekend. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But what I saw reported, and you guys probably all saw the same thing because we're all on social media together. But 5-year deal, potentially 150K per week. It's not my money. It's not our money. But what do people think about that?
That's solid money. I'm here for it.
It's making some money. Good for him.
Yeah.
Not too high. It's not too doesn't break the wage structure or anything. It's probably fine. I don't know what he's on at Bournemouth. Maybe 50, something like that.
A lot less.
Yeah,
a lot less.
No, I think he signed a new contract in the summer, so that might have been like nearly 100 grand there. So only a 50 grand, and then
it looks a lot more like the 60-ish.
Yeah,
good for him getting that nice pay rise.
Yeah, I had a site that I was looking at that had all of, well, supposedly anyway, that had
I think FB Ref has them.
Oh, here we go. All right.
Was it what is it? What is it? What is it?
It is salaryleaks.com. Here, I will bring
that sounds very official.
Of course,
yes.
We gotta find the most official of the official.
Sounds very much legit.
Antoine Semenyo. If I click this, it says that he is currently on 100K at Bournemouth. Says he signed financially improved 5-year contract extension at AFC Bournemouth in 2020 in July. Took his salary to 100K.
2025.
Yeah, so this past July he went up to about 100K is what this is saying.
They did that just to keep him for one more year. That's
well, they probably didn't have a release clause, so they probably put a release clause to guarantee they got that 60K, and so that at least guaranteed them that. So but again, like I said, I don't think they want to make it contentious or anything like that. Big ups to Steve Black. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, sir. Appreciate you. Steve. But in comparison, even if he's on, what I say, 150, that was what's being reported. But if we
that's
think
great.
That
I don't care who you are.
Man, tell me about it. Yeah. But they live in they play in a different stratosphere. They don't play in the same that we do.
That's true. When Holland pulls up in that Porsche and you're still driving your like Camry, like I get it.
I am going to share this so we can all see what I'm looking at. Give me one sec. There we go. So what I am seeing. That's interesting. There's a pop-up from StreamYard that kind of
50 for Nico, 50 for
so going back up, of course. Oh, sorry, you were going from the back, but of course we got the people at the top. We can scroll down through all these. So 175, Josko, Gvardiol, Ryan Shirky at 175. Again, we don't know that these numbers are entirely accurate, but I imagine they're They're roughly close, right? So Ake's at 160, Kovacic at 140.
Go back up to one though, because I'm like there's so many talking about Jack Gorn with the annual for last year. How many of those 14th as well with Calvin Phillips? How many of those are actually going to leave in the summer? By the summer.
So yeah, let's look at that in a minute. One sec. Before we do that though, so that 150 would put him in between Ake and Kovacic, right? So he's not going to be one of our top earners. Basically, puts him almost smack dab in the middle. So I think those numbers are perfectly fine and acceptable. He's not being overpaid. Shouldn't put a ton of pressure on his shoulders to perform, because again, he's getting paid more, but not so much more that it is, to use a Arsenal phrase, going to break the wage structure or whatever. So, but you wanted to see who all's coming off. So
yeah,
we expect Bernardo Silva to come off of this. That's $300K a week. We expect,
I don't know about that.
you don't think? Okay, well, there's a contrary opinion.
I would be
You don't
shocked
think
if he was
you think
back.
Bernardo potentially stays?
He's gone.
Look,
That's
the club
Spartacus.
really,
We got to put a name to this take, because I think you might be one of the only ones that think he's going to stay.
the club really, really values experience, and letting go of. Let's pretend that Rodri is not fully back. Letting go of Rodri, Kovacic,
And
and
Bernardo.
Bernardo Silva in the same summer is never going to happen. So I'd say that if we start to see rumors of Rodri going out, I would expect Bernardo to stay.
Why? So there's nothing that the club can do, because he is out of contract, if I'm correct, right? The contract ends in 2026.
Yes.
So there is nothing that the club can do to keep him other than give him more money.
He did say in the press conference for before a game in the Champions League, he did say, I know what my decision is.
Yes.
So that will
I just don't
probably
want to talk
come
about
out.
it.
Yeah.
And if he was staying, he would say, "I'm negotiating a contract."
It will probably be in the press conference with him, like what happened with Fernandinho in 22 before Atletico.
And the whole conversation with
Okay.
Bernardo was he needed either teams would pay the fee for like what City wanted for him to go, but they wouldn't be able to pay his contract. By him leaving he can now make whatever wage he wants at a club. So it really worked for the team. City are able to keep this player, really help teach the younger players what it means to be a City player, and then he can go on and ride off in the sunset. And really, this is one of the few chances where City actually do right by a player, instead of usually just being like, "Sorry, bud, you got to go." So I'm here for it.
So I think that, again, if it feels to me, and again, I have no reason to know this other than what we've seen in the news and reports and all the stuff in social media and all other things across the years, right? It feels to me like he has been waiting for this day and to be in a position where he could make this choice. And so I think I would be hard pressed to think that he's not going to leave and be able to kind of end the story on his own terms. I hope and pray that we win a trophy this season, because he can walk out, saying he won the trophy as the captain. But I personally think he's going to leave this season. But you could be right. You could be right.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Yeah. The thing for me is that I see the club losing a lot of experience in the summer, especially for Rodrigo's, and the club does not want that. The club wants to do kind of what Madrid did, like build one winning team on the back of another one. So they had that trip, that side that won the 3 Champions Leagues in a row. And then as they were dismantling that side, they were already building the next side in Vini, Rodrigo, and the other people. So I think the club really wants to do something like that. So start developing the new side while the old side is being dismantled. So if it means hanging on for a player like Madrid did to Modric, him being a bit a second fiddle or being a bit part player, and then in the next season let him go on a free or something along those lines, I do think that the club would do it.
Yeah. This is, like I said, very possible. I do know, to your point about not wanting to lose all the experience. I did see the tweet that talked about the club potentially wanting to keep Ake for that reason, because he has that experience. And someone else talked about him turning down an offer from
West
I think
Ham.
yeah,
Smart.
I think the comment
man.
said Bournemouth, but it was actually West Ham as far as we saw it. But the reality is, to Snoopy's point, he's not entertaining any relegation threatened teams. So Ake has basically said, I'm not going to West Ham. He's not ruling out going other places, but he's not going to West Ham. He's probably not going to go to any team that's going to
He's
be
been there,
relegation
done that.
threatened.
He's not
Yeah.
doing it again.
So,
Not
but I also
surprised.
see, and when I saw that tweet, I could understand, because again, looking at this list of salary or potential salaries, John Stones is sitting at 6 at 250K. Ake is almost 100K less than that at 160.
He's not getting a raise. He's too old.
So I guess my question is, can you? I mean, if you're only are you going to keep both?
That's 700K already.
Are you going to keep both? And if you're not going to keep both, and all you care about is experience and English quota, I would just keep Ake. He's a much cheaper option.
I would not be surprised because Barcelona was really looking at Stones before the injury. I would not be surprised if they changed that to Ake.
Well, I did see that maybe that Barcelona might come, because again, he's going to be on a free. Barca don't have any money.
There was that report that
actually, he's not going to be on a free.
I can't remember which one.
I mean, right now.
Yeah, 21.
I can't remember which one it was, but someone said,
saw.
but some report said that City value Ake at 21 mil.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it
That
was.
was about what I was hearing as well. I think I wouldn't see the City using him on a loan. I do think City would only entertain a sale, because you have to think on the perspective. Yep, you have to think on the perspective of the club. We're not selling Ake because we want to. We're selling Ake because we want to get another player in the club. So if we just loan him, we're just delaying the need to sell a player until the summer. So there's no real point in loaning a player at the moment, unless there is an obligation to buy, like on Bob.
Do any of you, and Ryjack, I'll let you go first. Do you think that we go in for Gahey?
I would think we try. I think it's a difficult sell to say Gahey come in and be our third choice center back, whereas he could go to Liverpool, or even he could go anywhere. Honestly, he can get a pre-contract agreement anywhere. He could go to Bayern and be one of their starting center backs if Upamecano goes. He could go to Madrid potentially. He could go to Liverpool, and I honestly think Gahey's so good he would be a starting center back at most clubs if he is interested in the competition and thinks he can crack this center back duo of Diaz and Gavardiol. Then City's a great place because he's going to be competing. We've got the pep factor, and obviously we're going to pay him a good amount of money as well, as you see with the Semenyo deal. So I'd love it if we could get Gahey. I would be either Stones or Ake out in January for that to happen, for sure.
Does the Gahey feel more like a summer move? Because again, he's not gonna pass up the free going on a free and then getting the signing bonus, right?
I mean it could, and it depends on how much Palace, I guess, value him in their pursuit in Europe. Like if they think, we could get 20 mil for him now, or we could keep him and potentially win a trophy. Is that worth it? That's something that, what's their owner's name? Steve Parrish will have to, I guess, decide. But I I would love it if we got Gahey. I think he's really an improvement in the center back department as far as quality depth. And I know people will say we have Kusanov, we have Victor Hayes, we have Juma Ba. But the question for me is he better than what we have? And I would say he's better than Kusanov. He's better than Victor Hayes. He's better than Juma Ba. So good enough for me. I don't.
He's a known product. So
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Kathy, Ake is classed as homegrown. Nor yes, he
Yes.
is classed as homegrown, which is why he has some additional value beyond just what he's doing on the pitch, and why I think we want to keep him around, because him or Stones, keeping that homegrown quota. Go ahead, Spartacus.
I think from what I've heard, the Spanish sides have already gotten out of the race for Gahey, especially Barcelona. Barcelona was really looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do any move to get him yet, but they were severely thinking about the possibility. Now they pulled out. I think they're probably now looking more at Nico Schlotterbeck over Gahey.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're out of that race. Madrid, I think they're looking at Upamecano, so I think they're also out as well. Now, Bayern are looking
that opens. If Upamecano goes to Real Madrid, that opens up the possibility for Mark Gahey going to Bayern in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're also looking at renewing the whole back line. They don't trust any of their centre backs at the moment, so they're trying to get new ones. Even though they just got Tar in the summer.
I'll say Jonathan Tar in this. Yeah.
Tar is the one that they're like, maybe you can stay, but the rest is just they want them out.
So when Ryjack was talking, he mentioned our young center back. So he mentioned Kusanov, Vitor Hayes, and Juma Ba. I saw the reports today of Juma Ba interest in Juma Ba from both Crystal Palace and Brentford, and the club thinking that they can recoup more than the £5 million that they spent on him. Substantially more than the $5 million that they've spent on him. So I guess, does that, if you don't want to sell, then you don't have a number, right? If you have a number, then that says to me that, well, I think I'd entertain that. Here's about what that would be.
Just think City.
I think every player has a number, though.
Yeah. I think at least at City, I think everybody has a number. You might say they don't, but in the back of their mind, they have a number, because Alvarez, no one would have thought Alvarez had a number.
But Alvarez wanted to go, right? Yeah, so he wanted to play as a 9, and so if you want to go, here's the number. But it just says, it didn't say anything. Now maybe, I'm sure Juma Ba, maybe there's some on his end that he may want to go, because I don't think it's going very great for him at Lens.
Nice.
Is he at Nice? Sorry.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. But it just feels like, Crystal Palace, Brentford, we're both interested, and the club is like, sure. I don't know. It feels like I don't know that Juma Ba has a future.
Putting those two clubs in as links is kind of like
I think that we are looking at Juma Ba as like a profit. We bought him. He was like 5 million. We think that he can become this very good centre back. Maybe not at City's level, but still 5 million. We're always going to make a profit on him. I do think that getting Gahey in means the end for Kusanov. I don't think it means the end for Vitor Hayes, because I think they're very different profiles. But I think Kusanov probably going.
Really? Even if we're gonna lose Ake, we're gonna lose Stones, we're gonna eventually lose Diaz.
It's not a good look.
I think if let's say you lose Ake, then you get Gahey. Nothing changed for Kusanov. Then you lose Stones.
You get
the replacement for Stones in Pep's mind is Vitor Hayes. The club really rates Vitor Hayes. So you're looking at maybe now I'm still 4th choice, even though 2 of the senior players left the club. So maybe he's just gonna move. Now, if he wants to stay and give it a shot and try to fight for his place, great, all power to him. But I do think that that's not a good news for him.
Yeah.
You got to think about how long is he willing to, sit and fight it out. Like you mentioned, Diaz will leave eventually. I mean, what is that, like 4 years away? Is he going to wait that long? Like, probably not. I mean, and we bought him for not super expensive. It was what, like 30? So again,
I think it was
some of these guys are just numbers on a spreadsheet, which like sounds bad, but in a way,
we make a profit on Husanov. Yeah. I don't think we do. 30 is a decent chunk of change. And I don't think he played enough to be worth more than that.
Yeah, but even if you sell him a couple of years after, because of the depreciation, you don't have to sell him for 35 to like by the books make a profit. You can sell him for 20, and if it's 3 years later by depreciation, it's actually the club made money. Which is weird, but
let me ask this question. So coming in, Kuzanov and Vitor Hayes were both highly regarded by the club, and it sounds like by other clubs as well. Kuzanov was physically more ready for the Premier League, and so he got to play. Hayes probably wasn't going to play much this season, so they sent him on loan. But by playing every single week, pretty much every match for Girona, he has elevated his stock in a way that Kuzanov couldn't, because he's just not playing it regularly. At some point, do we need to have a conversation about how we bed in new players or young players? Because again, we're seeing, and again, I'm kind of feel like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but we see how Oscar Bob has way fewer minutes than some of those other players at his age, and he's just not as far along in his career on the pitch wise because he just hasn't played as much. We saw what worked for Phil Foden. My concern is that we think the Phil Foden route is the only route.
At least with the centre back ones, let's address this one first. Husanov was highly rated, but he was rated by Spurs, Chelsea, that level of highly rated. Vitor Hayes was rated by Madrid, Barcelona, by Munich, that level of being highly rated. So I do think Vitor Hayes was a class above Husanov to begin with. And that's mostly because clubs tend to rate more highly the football in IQ than physical traits. And Vitor Hayes is a very, very smart player. Very good on the ball. His decision making is very solid. All he needs to do now is just develop physically and get more used to European games. That's a lot easier to do than to get a player like Husanov, who, for everyone who loves him, the guy is still extremely harsh. Like he does some decision making that you just go like, why have you done that? There's no point of you doing that, and he still did something that probably gonna end up being like a red card or a stupid free kick that he didn't need to commit, and end up costing the side.
But does playing, that's how you get experience and you get away from making rash decisions. You learn through experience. If he's not playing, how is he ever going to get that out of his game?
But then can we afford to give him the time to learn that?
I don't know.
He's going to make mistakes.
Which is why I'm going back to the question about, should we send more players out on loan?
So I think the Husanov thing is deeper because he didn't even speak English. So I don't think they wanted to send him to like Spain or something. Well, I guess I don't know what other languages he speaks, but I don't think they wanted to send him somewhere else and then come back to City when he still doesn't know English. I think they really need to get him comfortable in that language first, then see what they have. Because he was highly rated, but I still think he was kind of a wild card, because very similar to like Savinho, where he made like a big jump to a big jump to another big jump. It was the same thing with Husinov, and you got to find out what he is, what he can do. I do think now that his English is better, he's a little more calm. A loan could be fantastic with him. Maybe we bring in Vitor in. He does similarly, like doesn't play as much, just like Husinov, but he surrounds himself around Pep. He soaks in a lot of stuff. And I think just because of his brain and the way that his playing style, it fits Pep better, I think he will transition into the team a lot easier. And then maybe Husinov with the playing time elsewhere could come and help. Yeah.
Being Brazilian and being around like football clubs in Brazil and meeting people at the CBF, which is the FA for Brazil, you end up knowing a couple of these agents, a couple of these people who are close to players. So from what I've heard from the Vitor Reis situation is that even at the beginning of his deal here at City, he was more, Pep liked him more than Husinov. And the plan this season was for him to be doing the third choice centre back, fourth choice centre back over Husinov. But then Vitor Reis asked to go on a loan because he had a talk with Ancelotti. And Ancelotti told him, like, listen, I want you to go to a Spanish side. And if you do well, you can be the fourth or fifth centre back for Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why he went on a loan. Now, does this mean that we're going to loan him out either way? I don't know. I don't think we would. I don't think we would loan him. I think it would be at City and he would be playing a lot more than what Husinov is right now. Pep loves Vitor Reis as well. Really, really likes him. So I don't know. It's a situation. I think Husinov we're going to try to make some profit on them. And some people are not going to enjoy this because they think he's the next coming out of Maldini. But from what I've heard from inside the club, I don't think he's gonna make it. I don't.
Wow. And again, if he doesn't make it, he doesn't make it. We want the best players to be playing. And if he's not City quality, then we move on. But man, it feels early to make that decision. But it probably feels early to make that decision for Oscar Bob too.
We're doing it with Bob. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I would say on the loan question, it feels like now under Viana, there are going to be more loans than we have had in the past under Cheeky. It felt like if you went on loan under Cheeky, that was because you were not making it.
Yeah.
And now it feels like we're open to the idea of go get some experience and we'll see how it goes. And then we can maybe integrate you in the squad. And before that happened with under Cheeky, I don't remember anyone going on loan and then coming back and having a like actual City career of any meaning. I maybe I'm wrong, but I swear there was just no one that ever did that.
Yeah. Issue with loans are the clubs. This is Steve Blackie 1. Issue with loans are the clubs taking on are not bothered about game time for loan players, which is why I think you start to see more of with an option to buy or with a requirement to buy or whatever. So you have to be incentivized to actually invest. But again, we have plenty of clubs that we have relationships with, whether that be Girona, whether that be Troyes or however you say that, some other clubs around the world, quite honestly, that we can have some level of influence that maybe we wouldn't with some other clubs. But again, the players that we are bringing in are of the quality that they need to be playing at top level teams. So would Juma Ba benefit from going to a Crystal Palace or a Brentford as opposed to playing in France? I don't know. I think France is considered to be one of the more physical leagues. So I think from that standpoint, it's good for him to be there. But we would see him much closer if he were in England. But there's no guarantee that he's going to make it. Especially, like I said, I think if you're putting a $5 million, or that's what we paid for him, we think we can get much more than that. There's a strong possibility that he's not going to be around for the long term. That's just my opinion. Of course, we know about Claudio Echeverri going to Girona. So We'll see what happens there. We
That's
expect
kind
him
of
to
right to
play.
Steve's point as well.
Oh,
I
you saying
don't
that's
think he makes
Steve's
it
point?
either.
Yeah, like he went to Leverkusen and didn't play, and it's like they want to play their players. Why do they need to play
And I
develop
think
Echeverry? Like that's
Pep said
exactly
it.
what.
Yeah, the
said
manager
it.
changed too, right? So
Yeah,
they had
yeah.
what's guy from
Ten Hag.
And,
Ten
Ten
Hag.
Hag.
Yeah. They had Ten Hag.
Ten who?
Yeah. So they had him, and then now he's gone, and so the person that brought you in, like I'm not committed to this guy. I don't need him. He's not one of our players. I'd rather play my own. So yep, those things can happen. I heard you saying something, Spartacus. What were you saying?
I don't think he's gonna make it either. I think the way
You don't know
that
it's about Claudio Echeverri.
I'll hold you to
Yeah.
that.
Echeverri, yeah.
Is that because you're
I think-
Brazilian and you want the Argentinian to fail?
There's a built-in rivalry there,
No.
isn't it?
There is a rivalry, but not really. I think since the beginning, I think him and Mastantuono were never really Madrid or City quality. I think they are a tier below. I think that kid from Como, what is his name again? Forgot his name. Nico Paz. I think that kid is special. That kid is actually special. He's the level that can go to City or Madrid and actually be like, yeah, I'm starting. But Echeverri and Mastantuono, I don't think they are. I've seen a lot better players in South America and a lot better players than them fail as well. So I don't think that they're that special, and I don't think their agents are gonna help them at all in the situation. I think they can only do harm to them.
I say this as a hope more than as a like knowledgeable thought. But I reckon for me, if Echeverri helps Girona stay in the La Liga this season because they're still in the bottom three, I think that will make him. It'll help him a lot more for City, and give him those points, so to speak, for his next loan next season if he goes on loan. Because I still think Pep playing him in that final, he didn't make a mistake with that. He knew what he was doing, and that's a very nearly got the equalizer twice.
But he should have scored, and I think that chance if you put like a Foden or pretty much anybody
I'm more impressed with the
score.
fact that he's actually in that position to have that chance, to have that shot. Then, because he's still 17. He's been in the FA Cup final as his first appearance at City. How many players can say that at City?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that really means that as much as you think it means for them. Because that stadium for the Partizans, and I've been with this with Martin a couple of times already. The level of the stadiums are not that hostile in the UK, at least not for South Americans. So saying it's a big game, maybe, yeah, but this is not gonna get intimidated by the atmosphere or things like that, because it just seemed a lot more hostile situations.
Yeah.
Especially in Argentina, I would say.
Yeah. I think if you're looking at these South American young kids that we buy, which sounds awful, but young prospects that we buy, you think of Julian Alvarez, you buy him for under 20 million. Obviously that's a hit and that's amazing. And you end up making huge money on him. And then you buy Echeverri and people think this is what we do now. We find these under 20-year-old Argentinian or Brazilian or whatever it is, wonder kids who are just going to be cheap coming in and they're all going to make it. But it's not that lockdown of a.
The next one's probably is going to probably be Wendell from Bahia.
Right. And let's say we get this.
You think he makes it either?
I don't know that any of these players are going to be as good as Julian Alvarez is. Julian Alvarez being as good as he was might be a once every 5 years situation. It's not like we're going to pluck out the top Argentinian kid every year. It's just City take these calculated risks, and sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. And I think
When
that's
we
just how
got
it goes.
when we got Julian Alvarez, I told like my friend from the UK, this kid is special. Like, this kid is gonna be something. Because he was clearly too good for South America. Like, clearly too good. He was a level above everybody else here.
And you're
So
referring to
he
Julian Alvarez?
Julian Alvarez, yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't see that with Echeverri and the current crop of players here in South America. I don't see that level of difference.
Yeah, I knew you're not going to get a Julian Alvarez every year. Like, even though he was
Yeah.
14, 15
Kelly
million.
Sullivan.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Well,
Kevin.
Kevin
So
Sullivan
Kevin
is
Sullivan
gonna
is
be-
he's like 15, so he's not gonna be able to come over till he hits 18.
20,
He did,
is that 27?
I think he's 17 maybe now.
I don't think
Or
he's
16. I don't know.
I think he might be 16 because he just played in the U17 World Cup with the US this
See.
past summer or earlier this year. So yes, he is he's going to be a City player. He's not able to come over yet just because he doesn't have a European passport. He's not old enough, so he's got to wait. But yes, he is going to come. Now, speaking of Americans at City, one of the things that I saw in thinking about transfers, if you all remember, I think it's Christian McFarlane, I think is his name.
Mm.
Yeah.
Left back from NYCFC. Yep. And I think that the statement was that he'll probably leave next in the summer. Now, whether that means he'll leave on loan or if he's just going to wash out and not make it here, I don't know. I hope as an American, I hope to see him make it. But again, we know it's hard to make it here. So not making it City doesn't mean he couldn't have a wonderful career in the sport.
Career.
It just may not be at City or at this level. So we'll see. But yeah, so yeah, it won't be here for 2 years. Of course, Steve says that, and this is in regards to Juma Ba. So the question was, could we sweeten the Gahey deal with a Ba loan to Palace? Because Steve had said earlier that he wants to play in the Premier League, which is why you're seeing him linked with like a Crystal Palace and a Brentford, because he wants to get to the Premier League. And so could that be an option? And of course, the answer here is yes. City would want 15 for him, which again, you think about they paid 5. So to get 15 is basically tripling their money. 10 million pure profit.
Mm-hmm.
It's 30 million for Gahey. So pay Gahey a few mil signing on and pay rise. So that's an option. We'll see what actually happens there. But yeah, there's a lot in the transfers. There's the big names, of course. We talked about Semenyo earlier. There's the Oscar Bobs, but there's all kinds of people that are being impacted by, in some cases, loans that don't work out. Look at Jemai Simpson-Pusey went to, I think he went to Celtic and just hasn't been able to play. So for a lot of these kids, you have to be in the right, the loan
Moment.
has to be the right one. Yeah. And there's no guarantees. And so we hope that it works out for each of them. But we will see. The thing we didn't touch on when we were talking about Chelsea, of course, we talked about Semenyo a little bit. We got into transfer talk a little bit, but Semenyo did give up a penalty. It was kind of soft, but it was very similar to what we saw from Ruben Diaz, where you kind of get your legs tangled up. No intent, but again, do we just think that that's just because his mind is somewhere else at this point? So let me ask this question. Forget that. Let me ask this question for each of you. Was there anything that you saw today? Because I watched the Chelsea match because he was playing, right? If he wasn't playing, maybe I watch a different match, but I wanted to see what he would do. I am not a person that has watched a ton of Bournemouth or a ton of Semenyo. So this is, for me, I'm paying attention for the first time. Was there anything that you saw that you would be concerned about, or is it his head's not really there? He's just trying to get through on, no injuries, and so he'll be fine when he gets here.
I actually watch a decent amount of Bournemouth because I really like the style of play. I really like what Iraola is doing, and I think they're a very solid side. So my one concern with Semenyo, and this is something I told Martin before, and I think I told you as well, Luis. I do think that his creativity is on the bad side of the spectrum. His finishing is brilliant, his physicality is brilliant, but his passing and crossing is very much
Not
below
great.
par.
Not
Yeah.
great.
Well, that's interesting
yeah.
because one of the things that one of the sticks that is used to beat Doku with is the idea that, for the longest time, he wasn't beating that first man with his cross, couldn't find Holland. He would beat his man to the byline, no problem. He could get by his defender, but then he would put a ball in that just got cleared out and didn't amount for nothing. So if we don't think that he's going to be able to do more than what Doku is doing, and again, Doku's performing much better this season, that's going to be interesting. Now, maybe again he can do it on the right side, but we know we got Cherky there. But again, we need the ability to rotate. So we will see. Snoopy says, no, he's not very creative, but he has a good sense of goal and works hard off the ball. And I think that's the difference between him and Doku is just the sense of goal. Him and Savio, when you get him one-on-one with the keeper, you're going to be confident that he's going to finish. You're not necessarily confident when Savinho gets the ball in that position. And that's unfortunate for someone as good as he is. You can't not finish that.
I think they're very different players.
Sure.
I think Savio. I think they're quite literally the opposite type of players.
Yeah.
Semenyo is a finisher, and Savio is a creator.
Yeah, but don't you expect a top level professional at that level to be able to finish those? Maybe that's unfair of me to expect it, but I just feel like
I expect
when
that.
you
But
get
I just
into
don't
some
think
of those
that Savio
positions, you gotta be able. And again, to be fair, the keepers are professionals too. So right, their job is to keep the ball out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think,
and that's why he's bringing in Savinho. That's why he's bringing in Semenyo.
Yeah, because he's gonna get the goals.
Yeah, he's gonna get the goals. He works very hard. And even with the whole crossing passing situation, a lot of times with Bournemouth, he is their talisman on the counter. So the ball first comes to him. He kind of has to beat a couple guys. He has to hold the ball up and then try to relay the ball to a teammate. Respect to Bournemouth, but also it's Bournemouth. So I would
look at his
second.
Look at his second against Liverpool. Look at his second goal against Liverpool in the first game of the season. He carries the ball for 60 yards, and you really think he's going to score on his right, and you really think either foot you're thinking he's going to shoot here and score. Even when
I think
to
Steve's question, I think it's going to be Oscar Bob. I think that's what we've seen. He's pretty much going to go to Dortmund. That's pretty much locked on. I think as soon as the deal for Semenyo is agreed and signed and done, then you'll see Oscar Bob probably leaving to Dortmund that same day.
Probably.
I don't think he leaves until it happens, just because anything can happen. If Semenyo goes out and gets hurt, then the deal's going to be off. So I don't think you want to let anybody go until you're guaranteed that the player's in the door. But I think as soon as it happens, unfortunately for Oscar Bob, he's going to be out the door.
I'm not buying Bournemouth, by the way, saying they want to keep him until the 10th of January. They'll want the money as well, as much as Semenyo wants to move, and we want the move.
Yeah,
but they can get the money on the 10th. They can literally get the money on the 10th.
If he gets an injury, he knows if he gets an injury, the next game against Arsenal on the weekend, he knows he's screwed until the summer. So
yeah,
he'll say to them, "I want this move now. Get it done."
It's Iraola just trying to flex. That's all it is. He is aware of how bad the drop off is. If they lose Semenyo, they're not going to be.
If it wasn't for Semenyo tonight, they wouldn't. If it wasn't for Semenyo tonight, they wouldn't get the 2 goals. So he knows. That
long throw.
And what is Iraola really going to say other than I expect him to be he's a Bournemouth contracted player?
Yeah, well said. Well said.
He's going to be actually, guys, you're right. This was it. It's over.
Did you say your goodbyes? Did you go say bye?
Yeah. I actually talked to him. I told him he's like, For the game, though, for your question, Tarek, about anything that happened today, I mean, I wasn't able to watch the game today. I was working. However, I got comments on some videos about how bad he was today, which was maybe a little bit surprising.
And I think that's why people thought maybe his head was already in Manchester.
Yeah, and
It's
I
in
mean,
the-
I
yeah,
looked
he
up
said it's not there.
some stuff about just like to see what happened, and there's a lot of stuff about like Twitter posts about how bad he was, how City can't take a refund, and I don't buy into any of that. Like, he's been one of the best wingers in the Premier League. If you watch anybody do those, like, I'm naming my
Yeah, they
Premier League
actually-
team of the season, like, he's in almost all of them. Like, he's been amazing this year.
And to Magnus's point about losing sight of the homegrown issue, if Oscar Bob leaves, he is homegrown, but Semenyo is also homegrown, so it would basically be a 1-for-1. And in theory, Semenyo would be an upgrade and potentially have a longer career at City. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think Semenyo is going to be a great player for us.
Yes.
If he decides to stay. Because there is one thing as well. I don't think he starts for us. Because I don't think he's currently better than Doku, and I don't think he's currently better than Chucky. And I don't think we can make a midfield three of Foden, Chucky, and fit the next player there. I don't think that midfield three can happen. So we would need him to be. We need Chucky to go on the wide left, on the wide right, and Doku on the wide left. I don't think he's better than any of those two. But again, bench player, come in every now and again. If he's happy with that role, then fair enough. I think he's going to be a very good 7 for City.
I personally think he is better than Doku at the moment, and I know people won't agree with that, but we're talking about what are their strengths. Semenyo's a goal scorer. He's got 9 goals this year. Doku has 1 Premier League goal since January. So I know Doku's been good, but Doku still has a lot to improve on. I don't think people really think about it because he has scored a bit in the Champions League and a couple of cups, but he has 1 goal in the Premier League since January, and we're in December. So, like,
Semenyo's their prime. Of course, he's.
I mean, that is true. He's got to be the guy that scores the goals, and that's a problem that we've had with no one else getting goals with Haaland. But I think if I'm picking a team, I'm putting Semenyo over Doku, but that's just my personal opinion.
I think getting goals
similar to like Eze. It's similar to like Eze in Crystal Palace and going to Arsenal, where you're like, oh, he does a lot for Crystal Palace. He's gonna ball out in Arsenal. We're not necessarily him as much because what he isn't necessarily needed at Arsenal.
I still say it's the manager for him, but I'm not gonna have that conversation right now because Eze's a baller. So
I don't think anyone is questioning Eze. I just think, like, to Crunk's point, we haven't seen the best of Eze at Arsenal, and that's just because, again, there's a step up there, and then, again, I think he's probably better than Martinelli, but he's got to get consistent playing time and all the other things. A quick question for Spartacus, just because you're in South America. You said that you felt very strongly about Julian Alvarez. What were your thoughts about Gabby Jesus when he was coming out?
Mixed bag, I'm gonna be honest. I think he had very good potential, but I could also see the flaws in his game. I think sometimes in front of net he would overcomplicate things. And my game was like, is he going to overcome that and become more lethal, more like an R9 in front of net? No, the answer was no. So he's still kind of pretty much the same level of player that he was when he was here at South America. So
yeah,
that was what, like 8 years ago when he came over. He came over. I remember when we were signing Jesus, and if I remember right, he was a January arrival.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
That was like peak for me when we were linked with players, and I would go on YouTube compilations. I was so excited to get this Brazilian young kid who people were saying was like the next great Brazilian striker, and he was good for us, but I mean, not quite R9 levels.
I thought he was going to be, I didn't really see R9, so to be fair, but he was coming up at the same time as a Neymar, right? So you're hoping he's going to get close to what Neymar was doing because Neymar was exceptional. And
It was a
to be
little bit
fair,
after Neymar.
what's that?
He was a little bit after Neymar.
Okay.
The guy that came through with Neymar was Gunsel.
Prime at that time. We were hoping maybe he
Yeah.
could become
So you're hoping you get the next Neymar in this kid. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying. Yeah. But then
No one
I
could be
also
Neymar.
remember what's that?
No one could be Neymar. No one could be Neymar.
Neymar
No
was
one could be-
exceptional, man. I
I
think
don't think we actually realize how much of a special player he actually is.
yeah, Neymar was
Mine's-
Neymar was
mine's-
exceptional.
I have
this-
unpopular takes on Neymar, guys. You guys won't like Spartacus.
Go ahead, let's hit us with one of
Do
them.
I?
He has
Do I
to have. Maybe you're not a huge Neymar guy, but I'd guess that is not the case if you're Brazilian. I think Neymar has to have one of the biggest wasted careers of any
that's not
mega
I don't think that's
superstar.
controversial. I don't think that's controversial at all.
No, it isn't. He should have a lot more Champions
Never
League.
mind.
He should have at least one World Cup.
He should have
because
multiple
his
Ballon
talent-
d'Ors. And he just decided to go to PSG, and it was a total waste of second half of his career.
I don't know
But
if
he got
multiple.
I
don't know.
My one is we shouldn't have that summer. I still remember that. I remember someone. He was always tapping saying we might be in for Kylian Mbappe. I always go with we should have gone with Neymar instead, but that's me.
Yeah.
No, there was no chance that City was getting Neymar at that time. No chance.
Pep loves
No
him.
chance.
All right, we only have a few minutes left because I do have another obligation, and if I don't get off of here soon, Crunk is gonna kill me. We got some other folks probably waiting on us to record, but before we do that, we got to look to not tomorrow, but Thursday, New Year's Day,
Kill me.
City
Kill
up
me.
against Sunderland. You said kill you? We don't want to do that.
No. If you think Forest was tough, Sunderland will actually try and get goals against us rather than scam a draw or win against us somehow.
So I know they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players out on international duty. Is there
I can't remember what day it was. I don't know if it was the 1st or the 2nd of New Year in 2012. If you can try and bring it up, we got beat 1-0, and I've got flashbacks to that game right now. I've been thinking about it since seeing it like in December. I've been thinking we are not going to get a win. We are going to draw at the maximum. Actually,
That's very positive.
According to FotMob, they beat us in 2013 1-0 and in 2012 1-0.
Was that on New Year's Day?
It was December 26th.
Yeah.
If you scroll up, Tarek, you can go to head and then scroll down. It's there if you want to see it.
Sorry, I was
there's
distracted. You want to see what this was now?
If you go up a bit and click head to head.
Yep.
And then scroll down to 2012. I think that's what Louis is talking about.
Okay. So December 26th, they beat us
where
1-0.
Key scored. Because I always remember the next game after that, we beat Liverpool at home 3-0.
Adam Johnson. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a game I'm not gonna be watching live.
The season before then, the
because you
11-12 season. The 11-12 season.
So
January 1st.
12. That's the one I just looked at, isn't it?
No, you maybe
because it was the 1-0. It was Adam Johnson.
G.
Oh, there we go. That's G.
That period we just lost against Sunderland every single game 1-0 at the Stadium of Light. Every single game that period we had no luck there.
I just think that they have way too many players at AFCON to really.
Well, that's why I brought up what I was bringing up because I wanted to know: do we think
it's a midfielder, a winger, and a center back? I believe like their whole midfielder, their winger, and a center back are starting.
Here's the players. I couldn't tell you all these people's positions, but Diarra, Traore,
They are
Talbi,
players.
Siddiqui, Masuaku,
Masuaku was at West Ham, I'm pretty sure.
and
Yeah.
Reynildo.
Ronaldo was
And
at
Traore,
Madrid,
he's
Atletico Madrid.
great. Ronaldo. So shout out to I had on
Big up,
Jason
Judge.
Jones.
Big up, Judge Mo. Appreciate you stopping over, man. Wow, I just looked up. We were at 20. Now we're at 320 something.
What?
So
Everybody.
appreciate the raid.
Nice.
Appreciate everyone coming over. So listen, if you're new here, this is your first time. Judge Mo has sent you over here, or maybe whatever. I don't know how you got here, but I appreciate you being here. I want you to do me a favor. I got a birthday coming up. I am trying to get to 300 subscribers. I'm at like 200 and something. I've got a couple people that have subscribed throughout the course of the show today. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then also, like I said, subscribe, and then just hang out with us. We appreciate you being here. So these players we're talking, for those that just joined, we are talking the City upcoming match, City versus Sunderland, on Friday. No, Thursday. Gotta get my days right. On Thursday. So these are the players that are out. Do we think that makes them more threatening because they're going to be unpredictable? We're not going to know what's going on, or do we think that just makes this match kind of a pushover? We should. And again, it's hard to say pushover when you're playing in the congested fixtures in the winter, because you're playing so many matches so quickly. But do we think that? I heard you, Spartacus. You said you're not worried. You're not concerned about this.
I think as long as
Hey, big up, man, dispossessed, subscribe, no clue who I am. That's okay. You hang around long enough, you'll get to know me, and I appreciate it. If you're coming from Judge Mo, he's been kind enough to have me on his streams a lot, so certainly appreciate you for stopping by.
That's
So
hilarious.
thank you. But yeah, I mean, I'm not anybody special, so it's cool. That doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I'm just glad you're here. All right, so Spartacus, you were saying you're not concerned about this match.
judging by how they played against us at the Etihad, as long as we don't do this weird, stupid thing where we have an open path lane to the goalkeeper, to Donnarumma, and we just choose not to play the ball to him and play the ball to somebody who's in danger.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we don't do this stupid thing that we're doing constantly, I think we should be fine. Like, if you don't want to pass the ball back to Donnarumma, just kick it to the fucking sideline or throw in or give them a corner or something like that. As long as we don't do that stupid pass to people in danger. Because if you do remember, that the only chance that they really had against us at the Etihad came from when Nico G tried to drive into the midfield with the ball. He ended up losing it. Foden got it back, and then he passed it back to Diaz. Diaz lost possession, and they had a 1-on-1 with Donnarumma.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually watch the whole pattern back, every single one of the Sunderland.
Xhaka hit the post from that corner afterwards as well.
Yeah. Every single one of the players that won Sunderland are all looking at Ruben Diaz, waiting for Foden to play that pass so that they can all collapse into Ruben Diaz. So if he doesn't realize that the second that the pass is made, to adjust his body just to clear it first time, he's doomed to lose possession. And for a player to realize that in a fraction of a second is extremely hard. So Foden has a clean passing lane back to Donnarumma. Either pass the ball back to Donnarumma or just kick it for a throw-in. Do one of those. Don't pass the ball back to Diaz, because what they do is when the ball goes to the centre back, they use that as a pressing trigger. They leave one centre back open for a passing lane for you to pass the ball to, and then they all collapse into him.
Yeah.
Don't fall into that trap. Realize that is a trap, and either just kick the ball long or go back to your goalkeeper.
Yeah.
do one
Stephen
of those two
George
things.
says, "Be ready for a slugfest. Sunderland players hit hard." And what we've seen, and I like to describe City as being a finesse team, and I don't say that as a bad thing.
I'm beating at home this season, by the way.
You're going to be at home, you said?
Yeah,
No,
Sunderland
Sunderland
are
are
unbeaten at home.
Oh, unbeaten at
They were,
home.
they were,
Sorry, I
even, they
missed
were
you.
2-0. They were 2-0 up against Brent. They were 2-0 down against Brentford and won that game 3-2.
Yeah.
They
So
really,
again, I don't think it will be an easy match for us. I think that, but again, I think that what I was saying is I think we are and have been a finesse team. We will try to play through you. We'll use our skill. And when other teams, not to say that they're not skillful, but they are very much using that, pace, that power, that strength, that physicality, pushing us off the ball, being physical to see if we will buckle, to see if we will cave, to see if we have the guts to go through a battle like that. And so I think it's important that we don't I don't want to say don't show any signs of weakness, but we can't let them bully us. We have to be on our game. We have to be smart, which is to your point. They're going to try to create mistakes through the physicality, through the pushing
It's
and
really-
shoving and all
it's
the
really
dark
annoying.
arts and all the things. That's how they're going. That's the in my opinion, just my opinion, that is the only way that they win this match or even keep it close, right? They have to beat us with by forcing us to make mistakes, and we'll do that if we, like you said, make mistakes by passing into their triggers or not just being overly confident in our ability to get out of trouble. Sometimes you just have to play the ball long, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I would much rather us clear the ball than to have to create situations that they get goals. Steve says score early and demoralize them, and I think that is the key. If we get an early goal, their whole plan goes out the window. They want to keep it tight. They want to keep it close. We can't let them do that.
This is only one of two places that Erling Haaland hasn't scored yet. It's his first chance, like in the Premier League. If he scores here, then he's only got one place left to score. Like with all the visiting grounds in the Premier League, the other one being Anfield.
I think
That's interesting.
Because the way they played
because
against
Sunderland
us,
hasn't been up for a while, so that's why he hasn't scored there.
Yeah,
He hasn't been up.
Yeah, but
I had to think about that.
I just like records like that where you score at every single ground you've been to.
Yeah,
because I still want to be that Aguero didn't score at the Reebok Stadium at Bolton's ground.
Did he score at Spurs away? I don't remember that.
He scored the two against Swansea on the subs bench, but he didn't score against Bolton, the home and away in 11-12.
No, I mean Spurs.
Didn't he score the penalty in the Ortega save game?
Oh yeah, that's true.
And
Magnus says
well.
he wants to play in the black kit, anything but the rain kit. But to be fair, I don't like the rain kit, but we've not been bad in it. We've won more than we've lost in it.
The rain kit is actually not as bad from like a distance.
Can you kick Wise out immediately?
Really far or really close? One or the other.
No, I do agree that if you do close your eyes and don't actually see the kit, it's not that bad.
Oh, no, you can see the kit when
I love it. I like the FIFA kit actually, the greenish like triangle one. I actually like that.
Yeah, that's a lot better. But they won't, for some reason, they won't do it in the Premier League. They'll only do it in cup games.
The EA FC one.
Yeah,
that one's actually kind of nice.
Because
I like that one.
I think you can't have more than 4 kits, more than 5 kits, and they're probably saving the Chinese one.
We're gonna have the Chinese New Year kit as well. By the way,
yeah, it's coming up.
Wait for
I think they're probably gonna use that one.
10 different jerseys every year.
Yeah, I think we're saving the final slot for the Chinese New Year one because that's a market that I don't think City wants to miss on.
Oh, not at all.
Speaking of jerseys, I want to do something because I've changed. I don't know, Crunk, you might have noticed because we aren't here all together time, but I've changed where I'm sitting. They're talking about kits. Can you see that on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with that nice camera. Yeah, we can.
That's the Beasley kit. I actually I've had this for I don't know what 2 years now. Crunk?
No.
2 years, Crunk, 3 years. I haven't had it on the
Yeah.
wall, so I finally got to mount it. So
Proud of you.
yeah, finally got it up there. So
I know I have a signed Nico O'Reilly kit that I need to get framed, and I just keep staring at it.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, I forgot that you got that. That is dope.
Right?
That's gonna be worth something in the long run.
Yeah.
Not that you get rid of
Bought
it,
in
but
early.
just to have it.
Bought in early.
So I appreciate everyone for stopping by. We do have to get off. I'm already probably
FYI, I know you do this only every Tuesday, right?
Yeah, so far, yeah.
There's another game that you will miss before your next stream on this. We got Chelsea as well.
Chelsea?
Oh, the Chelsea match. So
thank God
I
Caicedo's not
had
playing.
in my notes to talk about, but what I will say is Caicedo picked up a second yellow today. Not a second yellow. He picked up a yellow card. So accumulation. So accumulation is going to have him out for that match. I was going to ask. Go ahead.
Saka, by the way, Saka was really lucky against Leeds because I thought he should have got a booking in the first half in that game, which would have culminated in him playing like missing this game, but he doesn't. So I really hate that because he's been their player of the season.
Yeah. So do we think is it fair to say that we all agree that not having Caicedo is a good thing for us?
God. Thank God, dude. Thank God.
They're jokes
The
anyway.
most
So
important player of
I'm
any
going with that.
individual team potentially.
And he's so physical
Caicedo.
too. So.
Yeah,
Caicedo is the type of player who's going to give us hell.
Yeah, I want our players to get through the match without injury.
Yeah.
Even if it's
Well,
just
I go to that old meme from way back when of a fan saying to a Chelsea fan what he says. If you know, you know.
I don't
know either.
I actually have that clip somewhere saved on my phone actually.
Yeah, you know the one, don't you, Crunk?
Yeah.
That's why I always think of Chelsea. So yeah, say less.
All right,
I think,
go ahead.
Go on.
I was going to end the stream, so go ahead.
I was just going to say that I think if they had Caicedo, they can do the thing that is the only type of side that I actually am scared of when we played, which is those high men-to-men high presses. This is what I'm scared of. This is what I think City will struggle against. Mid blocks, low blocks, high presses with hybrid roles. I think we're fine with those. High presses with men-to-men orientations, I think we're going to struggle against that. But without Caicedo, I don't think that they really can do that. So that's a good thing for us.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to show love to everyone that joined and subscribed today. So Camaro Mullet 69, appreciate you for subscribing, brother. Steve Black, thank you. Daniel Stevenson, 10 Gaff, and Graham Shoplin. Appreciate each and every one of you. For everybody that's been here, whether you hit the subscribe button or not, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on these Tuesday nights. Like I said, and I'm going to get you in a minute. We've been doing this every Tuesday. I think this is the 11th straight Tuesday. So a little bit over 3 months, going almost 4 months of doing this. And I just kind of stepped out and was like, I want to do something a little different. And so we got this going, and so we're gonna keep going. I've said that in the new year I'm probably gonna add another day. I don't know where I'll get a day from. I had to invent days to be able to do it because I'm pretty much on streams every night somewhere, it feels like. But I appreciate you taking your time to hang out with me. You could be a lot of places. You were on there's a lot of content creators. Everybody's talking footy. There's a lot of places you could be. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Louis, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say Merry belated Christmas and a very Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, big ups to everyone. Happy New Year. Hope you all have a safe but fun and enjoyable New Year. If you are in America, if you're from the U.S., you're an American, I need you in front of a TV tomorrow rooting for my Miami Hurricanes as we take on yeah, right. Jack was like, ooh, yeah, we're taking on I don't even know who we're playing. I've forgotten at this point.
Plastic fan.
No, it just slipped my mind. No, what it is an old fan. I'm old. But yeah, who do we got? Where's
Don't you have Ohio State?
yeah, that's why you know what? I blocked them out of my head. That's why. So if you feel like your club, your team has ever been robbed of a championship, robbed of a trophy, robbed of anything, then you should be rooting for Miami to defeat Ohio State. In January of 2003, we were robbed by a phantom flag that kept the game going. The game was supposed to be over, and they robbed us of a national championship. If you're not an American football fan, but you just like the story, you should be watching this match, watching this game, rooting for my Miami Hurricanes. I appreciate it. We need all the support we can get to beat big bad Ohio State, but I think we got it. So big ups to Snoopy, who is a big UM fan as well. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow night. I thought about streaming it, but I'll probably be sitting there with my with the family watching it, and I'll probably be yelling and screaming. So that's not a good look on these streams. So but again, yeah, appreciate everyone for being here. Thanks again, and I wish each and every one of you a wonderful new year.